Sometimes it's really hard to sit with stuff that shows up in our life emotionally, spiritually, mentally, any obstacle that comes about, but also knowing that you're never alone and you have this support system, this web of people that sometimes we see and sometimes we don't see, but they are behind us and we're always loved and supported no matter what.
Welcome to Radically Loved Radio. I am your host, Rosie Acosta, yoga teacher and teacher trainer, mindfulness coach, speaker, and creative writer. I am also the founder of radicallylove.com, a website where you can go for more information about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and lifestyle advice. On this podcast, we talk to people within our health and wellness community that are creating content through the ritualistic practice of yoga, meditation, or overall mindful living. We hope to create value in your life so that you can achieve your highest potential and live a radically loved life. To stay in touch with us, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rosie Acosta and on Facebook at Radically Loved Rosie. You can sign up for our newsletter on radicallylove.com to stay up to date on future workshops, retreats, and latest podcasts. I hope that Radically Loved Radio leaves you feeling inspired to create something powerful. My teacher, Yoga Rupa Rajstreger, says, if you powerfully believe in the value you have to offer the world, your love and passion for it will be an unstoppable force. Thanks for listening. This episode is brought to you by Four Sigmatic. Four Sigmatic, the coffee that gets you fired up. Aside from supporting energy, stamina, and athletic performance, cordyceps have been studied for their strong antioxidant properties. I have been so obsessed with this coffee for the last year. I've been drinking it and I've been traveling with it. And in case coffee doesn't pump you up enough, how about coffee paired with one of the most energy-supporting mushrooms on the planet, cordyceps? So coffee is so energizing because it stimulates the central nervous system and the adrenal glands. But combining this with a more balanced cellular energy to support our immune system and our health function, this mushroom can result in a balanced stimulation while using only half of the amount of caffeine normally found in a coffee, which is awesome. They also have an incredible matcha mix that is my absolutely new favorite, and they want to give our listeners a gift. So for those of you who are curious and want to try the mushroom coffee that doesn't taste like mushrooms, go to foursigmatic.com/radically loved. So that's foursigmatic.com/radicallyloved for 15% off of all of their products. Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, welcome to another incredibly inspiring, fun for us tea time with Rosie. I love that I say it's inspiring, and I'm like, you know why I'm inspired? Because I love having tea with new people. Don't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. I absolutely adore it.
So Jenny has been a longtime listener of the show, and she sent me an email that she wanted to do tea time, and I was like, of course, yeah, let's do it. I pretty much was excited. Well, I read your email that you sent that I want to talk about. And I feel like you do have such an inspiring story, and
thank you.
Because you like to listen, I figured why not have you on? We can talk about, whatever you want to talk about and just have tea together.
Yes, I love this so much. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I mean, I've listened to your podcast for over a year and a half now, and I have listened to every episode.
Oh my goodness.
There is none that are waiting to be listened to unless you posted right now.
That's so great and hilarious. And part of me is just like, ooh, even the old ones. Oh goodness, please. I'm sorry that I subjected you to some of them, I'm not even going to try and make an excuse.
Oh. No, they were great. I needed to listen to them all. They were phenomenal.
So let's talk about, tell me about since you know so much about me, tell us about you.
Yeah, who the heck am I?
Yeah,
Good
who
question.
Are you?
I could probably be asking myself that question for the rest of my life and never truly have an answer,
no.
but who the heck am I? So my name's Jenny Tanck. I am in Wisconsin right now, chatting with you, having some tea.
Yes.
Um, and I am a 42-year-old. Oh my God, 42. I'm nervous. Can you tell? I just
you're
mixed up my
young.
age. I'm 24.
Oh my goodness, 42?
I'm dyslexic too.
What?
Legitimately
How,
dyslexic.
how do we
so
go
that
from
totally
24
happened.
to 42? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead. No cross talking.
I'm 24. Oh my God, my dyslexia just came out verbally. Okay. Yeah, and I am currently traveling through kind of an interesting health journey. And when I reached out to you to do tea time, I sent the email and I was like, oh, my mom's advice came right into my head and was like, the worst that she could say is no. So I'll try. I'll just try. I'll put it out there. I'll put it to the universe. If it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. And here we are. So this is absolutely amazing. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2017, which we will chat with I'm sure, which is one of the main reasons I reached out to you. I've been a long time listener. I adore the Radically Love podcast and everything that you stand for, Rosie. So it's truly an honor to be talking with you, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it must, to me, obviously, it's like I love being able to connect with my listeners and my people. I'm just like, I respond to every message, as you know, and it was funny. Like Jenny started DMing me on Instagram, and we had like it was during I swear that it was during Mercury going into retrograde, and some weird thing was happening. And my cousin was doing the same thing, and she'd send me these text messages, and I'm like, wow, Jenny and my cousin are the two only people whose messages I'm like not seeing them or I'm not getting them. And it was just the most bizarre thing. But I'm glad we were able to connect. And I really am always inspired by anyone who has been diagnosed with something that they're going to have to live with and have a health journey on. I myself obviously can relate. I've got certain, I've got an autoimmune disease, I've got a heart murmur, I've got all kinds of allergies. Like I all have all my little, I call them all my little things that I have to live with. And so it's nice to connect with other individuals that are similar. And I feel like, a lot of people that are out there, even some people listening that suffer through the same things. And I think until you're in the position of having to go through things that are really challenging mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, it's really hard to understand. Not to say that we can't have empathy, but I feel like it's just a very it's a very tough place to be. And so I'm really happy that you're open and willing to share about your journey and kind of what you've been going through and how important is it for you to have a community to support you through it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just, I think we all have these little stones, like you said. We all kind of go through health journeys. We all have these stones that we're carrying around in our backpacks, some of which we're willing to talk about. Others we kind of just hang on to on our backs, and they sometimes weigh on us. But I've found that talking about it and kind of putting it out there and just allowing, the universe to send it where it needs to go and to connect with people that it's supposed to be heard by, really just does wonders. It's really a healing, and it's almost like therapy. Yeah. Whether you write about it or you talk about it, it allows it to get off your chest just a little bit more and allows you to walk a little bit taller and lighter, and you're able to connect with such like-minded, beautiful individuals. And it's been a journey, and we're all going through something, whether it be health-wise, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. I mean, we're all traveling through this beautiful thing we call life.
Yeah.
I'm a strong connector, and I just love hearing other people's stories too, if they're willing to share, or even just sitting with people in silence too, if that's what they need, is just being physically present and just sitting in the moment with people.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, what kind, do you have a career? Are you going to school?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I work at an insurance company here in the area.
yeah.
And I graduated with my 200-hour RYT last year.
Fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
studied at Yoga on the Lake here in Kohler and loved it. And I was practicing yoga for 5 years before then, but I just felt this strong pull when I started physically practicing the asanas and everything like that, there's something deeper here and I'm not getting the full picture. So my teacher training really opened that doorway for me. And since then, it's just been, I mean, it's amazing the amount of information that's out there and the knowledge that's to be gained. And I will never know everything, and I'll never say I know everything because there's just so much. But it's just a beautiful learning journey, and I think my teacher training really opened that door and that passage for me to continue my learning and sharing with other individuals. And your podcast, actually, my favorite podcast, even though that was impossible to find one. Because I had this long list and I was like, okay, Jenny, you got to narrow it down to one. And I'm like, this is impossible. This is an impossible task. But my favorite one that really spoke to me and actually created me to step out and create a change in my community was the one with the ladies from Black Girl in Om. And, you were talking about how yoga sometimes is for the wealthy individuals. And I'm not saying capital W, wealthy. I'm speaking, monetarily wealthy.
Yeah.
And, the ladies that were sharing their experiences with everything. From that podcast, I stepped out and I was like, I have my 200-hour certification. I need to reach people that are not being reached currently, whether there's a financial obstacle in the way or there's something else in the way. I want to break that barrier. And that podcast really put me into momentum. And since then, I've been volunteering, teaching yoga at my alma mater and connecting with such beautiful individuals that wouldn't be able to practice if it wasn't offered for free to them.
Yeah.
And that podcast really put me into momentum and really striked me and kind of sat on my heart and my soul. And I knew that I had to do something about it. I couldn't just let it sit and fester. I had to really act myself. So yeah, thank you for that.
No, I love that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of our yogic journey is to do. It's seva work. It's to be of service and to be able um, to provide support for
Yeah.
people that need it.
Hmm.
That's wonderful. I love to hear that. That's so
Yeah,
great.
I'm still on my journey and I'm still trying to teach as
Yeah.
much as I can. And yeah, it's just been beautiful.
Well, so how has yoga helped
Oh my God.
well, I don't even have to finish the question. Just tell me about
Oh
it,
my
girl.
God. No, my God. I would not be where I am right now without my physical practice, and the emotional practice and the spiritual practice, the meditation piece. I would not be kind of I don't want to say I'm in a peaceful place with it. I have spent a lot of time sitting and, talking to the higher power that I call God, and just sitting and listening and asking questions and just truly trying to wrap my head around everything. And at the beginning, it started off with a lot of me talking, me asking questions, why is this going on? What could I have done differently? What can I be doing differently now? And, as I went through my health journey and continued to deepen my practice through teacher training, I learned to actually sit in silence. And that's when I started getting answers in return. That's when I started actually getting the feedback that I was asking for when I truly became silent and just allowed, thoughts and, answers to come through. That's when my breakthrough started happening.
Wow, that's powerful.
Mm.
That's really
Sometimes
powerful.
silence is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we don't give ourselves enough time
Mm.
to do the types of practices that are going to allow us to really go in. And what
Hmm.
a lot of the times people forget that yoga asana, the physical practice of
Hmm.
asana, mentioned only for the first time in the Yoga Sutras, and when Patanjali talks about
Hmm.
asana, it's a comfortable seat. So we practice the physical forms of
Hmm.
yoga in order to be able to be in the most advanced asana, which is
Hmm.
sukhasana, which is easy pose or simple
Mm-hmm.
seated cross leg. And I feel like that's really where all the excavating and the magic begins to
Mm-hmm.
happen. So being so young and being diagnosed,
You mean 42? Just
yeah,
kidding.
right. Being so, hey, I would say this. I mean, it is. You're 42 is still
It
young,
is.
even though
Hey, heck yeah.
let's go back. She's not 42. She's 24. How how have you been able to sort of navigate this,
Hmm.
this diagnoses?
Yeah, so my health journey started actually before my diagnosis, as it always seems to.
Mm-hmm.
And my body was telling me it was speaking to me very silently, and I didn't stop and actually listen to it until it was screaming at me, which I think a lot of us do. We're walking around with fatigue or headaches or, or upset stomach or nauseousness, nervousness, anxiety. And until something big happens, such as a diagnosis or, something larger happens, we don't actually stop and say, okay, what's behind all of this? Why is this going on? And yeah, it's been a long journey, even though I am 24. It all started back in November, actually, of 2016 is when my first onset of symptoms started. And it was, of course, around the holidays, as everything seems to happen around the
Oh,
holidays.
goodness. Yes.
But yeah, I think how I've been able to handle it at such a young age is the support, my family, my friends, my husband. I am fortunate enough to be married to my soulmate and my best friend that I am able to lean on so most days too much. He's so strong and he's able to help me through everything. And my family and my friends have been a huge support. And I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without their love and them cheering me on and lifting me up on days where I didn't feel like I could even lift up myself.
Wow. Yeah, that's so that having the support has been
Mm.
monumental.
Oh, yeah. I would not be where I am today without the support and also with obviously yoga.
Yeah, I mean this is the thing. I mean, like we don't the people listening to this podcast already know the importance of being able to
Mm.
have a ritual or a practice.
Hmm.
So are you teaching or no?
Yes, yes, I am. Yep.
And this is how you're bringing it out to the world.
Hmm.
You're just providing this service to people who need it.
Yes.
You're like a
Yeah.
hero right now. You
I
realize
don't know
that's
about that. I think I personally learn more from my students than they will ever learn from me.
words spoken from a true yogi, everyone. So that's exciting. And how long have you guys been together, you and your husband?
Oh my gosh. So our story is kind of funny.
I want to
So
hear it. We're
we,
having tea. Tell me about it.
heck yeah. So him and I were best friends, as a lot of good, strong relationships start. We were best friends, and we met in college. Our freshman year, we were in a class together, and he claims that he noticed me right away, and I was like, sure, whatever, yeah, right. But as we traveled through college, we just remained really, really good friends. He was dating other people, I was dating a different individual, and we would be the friends that would go to each other. If I ever had a boy problem, I would go to him and be like, why do you boys act like this? Super generalizing,
Ah.
not great to do. But why do guys do this? And then he would come to me if he had girl stuff and be like, why do girls do this? So
Yeah.
we were just like that friend that we would go back and forth. And as we entered into our senior year of college, we were both single and we were each other's coworkers. And we were like, I think I'm looking at you in a completely different light.
Ah.
And I graduated a semester early from college. I graduated in 3.5 years with two majors somehow. I don't know how I worked that.
What?
But
Wait, what?
um,
What? How? What are they?
I graduated with 2 degrees, one in nonprofit management and the other in communication.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
continue. Jeez.
I love learning, so I think that's probably why I just pushed forward.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, it was a semester early. I got a job in the area, and he was still in the area. And from then, we started dating, and it has been history ever since. We got married in August of 2016, so right actually before all my health stuff came about. So yeah, I was fortunate enough to catch him.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah.
That's lovely. What's yoga like in the Midwest?
I don't know if it's, well, it's probably different everywhere you go. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it depends truly on the teacher. I've been blessed with the most amazing yoga teachers here with through teacher training and then outside of teacher training. I'm someone when like I go home, my family lives in the Madison area here in Wisconsin, and Trevor's family is my husband's family is in the Door County area. So we travel around Wisconsin, or if we go out of state, I'm someone that is constantly looking at new yoga studios just to experience the new teachers and just to hear a new voice and hear their creativity and see, their passions come about through the yoga practice and teaching the physical asanas. But yeah, I'd like to say it's the same as everywhere else, but yeah, it's fun. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't, unfortunately, during the tour last year, we didn't.
Mm,
I mean, we got to be in the Midwest
yeah.
a little bit, but not too. I mean, we were in Chicago, and um,
You were so
we.
close.
I know. Um,
Next time.
and we actually went up to Milwaukee because we went to
Yeah.
the Rishi Tea headquarters up there.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so we really drove
Love
straight past
Milwaukee.
you, right?
Heck yeah.
Uh,
Literally right past us. That's
yeah.
only an hour from me.
Darn.
Just missed
Well,
you. That's okay.
well, yeah. So and I didn't really get to. I mean, yeah. I mean, I wish I would have spent a little bit more time. But as I was saying to you before we started the podcast,
Hmm.
I really loved I love Midwesterners like so much.
Yeah.
They're really the sweetest, nicest people I've
Oh.
met. You know what? We met some really great people on the road.
Yeah. Well, you always have a place to stay if you come back.
Oh,
So
don't
come
say
on
that
back.
because
Come
I'm actually
on.
I'm doing a workshop out in Chicago at
What?
Chill Out Chai.
Okay.
Um, Shy or Chai? I don't know. I mean,
That's okay.
Chill Out
Somewhere
Chai.
cool.
Somewhere. Yeah, it's a meditation studio. I'm doing a
Oh my
workshop there
God.
August. I think it's like August 11th. So you
Ooh.
should come down.
I have that on my radar now, totally. Oh my gosh. Looks
That'll
like I'm
be
coming to Chicago.
perfect. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it'll be August 11th. It's a Saturday.
Mm.
So, and for anybody listening who's out there, please come by and say hi. We're doing it. It's a meditation workshop, and I'm doing like a little bit of a lecture, and it'll be nice, and we'll get to hang
Ooh.
out. And I just like to connect with
Dropping the
people.
knowledge.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm
Love it.
just getting, the download. I'm just a
Mm.
conduit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
So
love it.
this is so much fun. So what are the plans? Like what's your plans for the next 5 to 10 years?
Good question. Whatever the person upstairs has in store for me.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think I would love. I know I would love to teach more. I would absolutely adore to give more of my heart and my soul to students in the area and be able to connect with other individuals in the area, whether it be through yoga or if they're going through their personal health journey.
Yeah.
Right now, that's ideally what I would love to do is be able to help other individuals, whether they're going through another autoimmune disorder themselves, if they have a family member that is going through something, a friend, coworker, and just kind of merge the two between yoga and the healing aspects that we already all know that it offers, and also just little pieces that I've gone through personally, and if I can empathize and connect with other individuals, I think that would be my ultimate goal as what I would love to do in the future.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What
I'm all about connection, so.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love what you're doing. I really love that you're taking your knowledge and you're creating something that's going to create a big change. I'm excited. I'm excited to follow you. I'm
Aw.
excited to follow you and see what
Thank you.
you do.
Yeah.
What has been the most influential thing that has happened in your life aside from your yoga teacher training?
Yeah. Well, as I noted before, from a young age, I was actually diagnosed with dyslexia when I was in second grade, and I thought that was a pretty big obstacle at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a learning disability and navigating through school, and I went to a tutor for 7.5 years and was taught all of the things. And I thought that was a pretty big obstacle. And life sometimes has this beautiful and sometimes not so beautiful way of humbling us that, that seemed like a large obstacle. And then my diagnosis of MS really brought me down. And that was when it was all starting to go on. I don't think I would have called it a blessing. And I don't think a lot of people in their current, journey, I don't know if many people would call it a blessing, but it for sure has taught me more about myself than I ever could have imagined. And it's really allowed me to tap into my body and listening to my body and connect with other individuals that are going through something. But yeah, that my diagnosis last year really took me back and taught me how to slow down and to really figure out what's going on underneath all of the layers.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
great. Do you have like a mantra or
Mm.
a positive affirmation that you tell yourself or that you've had for a long time?
Hmm. Oh, that's a great question. Breathe it all in. I think that's what I can come up with right now. Just the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. Just breathe it in. And I know sometimes it's really hard to sit with stuff that shows up in our life emotionally, spiritually, mentally, any obstacle that comes about, but also knowing that you're never alone and you have this support system, this web of people that sometimes we see and sometimes we don't see, but they are behind us and we're always loved and supported no matter what. And
Mm,
it's easy to think that we're alone in the
mhm,
process.
mhm.
And some of us may be even feeling that right now, like we're alone and we're traveling through life and we're having all these obstacles come our way and it bogs us down. But just knowing that you're always loved and you're always supported and you never truly are alone, that there's always someone out there that if you need help, admitting help is never a weakness, it's truly a strength.
Oh my God, Jenny, that's so it's so beautiful. I'm like,
It's, yeah.
you're gonna like make me emotional. I'm just like, oh,
Mm.
that's so good. Well, so, uh, I mean, I obviously can. We're good friends now. We're just
Hmm.
chatting it up here.
Yeah,
I want to just ask you a couple more questions, if that's okay.
I'd absolutely love that.
Okay. If you could go back in time,
Hmm.
uh, I always say, I always ask my guests, like, being a teenager is such a pivotal moment in life, right?
Yeah, oh my
Um,
gosh, yeah.
so if you could go back in time, what advice would you give yourself at 15?
Ooh, trust the plan. Just truly not trying to wish away the years and just enjoy the moments as they're coming and they're going and appreciating them for what they are in the present moment. Hmm.
What advice would your 95-year-old self tell you now?
Oh man. You are stronger than you will ever give yourself credit for. Trust the
Mm.
process, probably the same thing. Slow down.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
Isn't that like the constant theme though? I feel
Oh
like every
yeah.
time I talk to people, it's always the slow down. Like
Hmm.
everyone's older self always tells the self now to
Right?
slow down, enjoy the process. And isn't it funny how we all innately know that, but it's rare that we could
Hmm.
actually sit and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably hang out with our older selves more often.
Right?
Oh my
I
God.
mean, I hang out with my 6-year-old self way too often, more often than I like to admit, because I'm
Right.
just like, I just want to be a kid.
I know,
Um,
which I don't think should ever stop. I think we
right.
should always want to be the true inner child, but we should probably take the wisdom that our older self holds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Agreed. Agreed.
Mm,
So I created this platform, to create a community, and obviously having
mm,
somebody like you on means the world to me, and in fact it's so exciting, and um, just I'm so honored and touched by having my listeners
mm.
engage and interact, and I really do love it, and I hope that everybody listening feels the same
Mm,
reverence. So I created this platform to have people like us come together, support each other,
mhm,
like you said, and talk about the things that are important to us, and talk about how we use the modalities of yoga,
mhm.
meditation, and mindfulness to create a community. So you've listened to the podcast, so I'm going to ask you, just like I ask everybody
Oh.
else, uh, how do you feel radically loved, and what do you radically love?
Being an avid listener, I knew these questions were coming. So I tried to function without anticipation,
Good.
which that didn't work so well. But I feel, oh my gosh, I feel radically loved, um, by my higher power that I connect with every day. I feel radically loved in the moments of sunshine, in the fact that they sacrifice their life for me and they're willing to, give it all for me and know that, they have a greater plan for me. And I just feel radically loved that I can put my faith, my trust, and my love in them and just know. And how I feel radically loved. Ooh, I feel radically loved all the time. I feel radically loved by my husband, Trevor, and our families, and the moments that we get to share with them, the true, authentic moments, not the moments that we're on our phone or we're sitting watching, the TV or on a computer screen. It's the true, authentic conversations that we have, connecting just soul to soul and just being able to build one another up and uplift one another if we're going through something. Just the true, authentic connections that we share with one another. I feel radically loved.
Jenny, thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Oh my God, thank you. What are you talking about? Thank you so much for, responding to my tea time request and allowing me to come and chat with you. I'm not going to lie. When you called me, I kind of got like this, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm
Oh,
so nervous. I told the wrong
no.
age.
Nerve sided, whatever. It's fine. No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that. Thank you so much for being such a
Yeah.
huge supporter, and for being honest, and for sharing your journey
Mm-hmm.
with us, and your wisdom and your insight. Again,
Oh.
I am so inspired by you and what you're doing, and I really am genuinely, honestly looking forward to what you are going to create.
Oh, thank you so much. I actually started a blog when all this started happening just to try and write it all out and seek therapy that way. So,
Oh, great.
yeah,
So where can we, yeah, for people listening that want to connect with you, where can they go for more information?
Yeah, so I started a blog. It's called Miss Minimalist Yogini, and it's .blogspot.com. That's my blog handle, I guess. And I didn't get creative with my other ones. I'm on Facebook at Jenny Tanck, and Tanck is Tanck, and my Instagram is just Jenny_Tanck. And I'd love to connect with anybody and just be able to share the journey. And I really appreciate you, Rosie, so much.
Aw.
And I cannot wait to see our relationship blossom and just be able to follow you on your journey too. It's an honor to be with you during all this.
Oh my goodness, you're the sweetest. Thank you so much for everything, and for reaching out, and for having tea with me.
Thank you so much. I hope your tea was super delicious over there.
It was so delicious.
Good.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Okay. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am so excited to continue to do this. Please share this with your friends. Email us, message us on Instagram at Rosie Acosta or on Twitter at Rosie Acosta. Subscribe on iTunes, write a review. We love doing this, so please help us continue to keep this podcast going. Thanks for listening.